Hi, Veterinary Unicorns. Today I want to talk to you about not feeling guilty. Okay, that's impossible. I'm lying to you. You're always going to have moments where you feel guilty, but let's talk about setting boundaries in your hospital and the guilt that you feel. So right now, I don't see us going back to normal. I know we keep waiting to go back to normal, and when will this busyness slow down? I don't see it, honestly. I hate to say it, but I think we need to start working as this is the new normal. This is actually what's happening in our hospitals, and we need to figure out how can we be the best version of ourselves with the resources that we have, and resources being one of them, people. We have to stop burning out our people. Right now, in 23 years of veterinary medicine, I've never seen so much burnout. It's actually out of control. And so we as individuals need to start setting boundaries. I'll give you a great example of this. I spoke to a veterinarian who was on the cusp of burnout. Actually, she was burned out. And she said, I was angry, I was mad, I couldn't take it anymore. And then I realized what I was mad about. I was mad that I couldn't go home and kiss my kids goodnight and tuck them into bed and eat dinner with them. She said I was mad because I was staying late every single night. And finally, I set a boundary. I said, that's it. I'm setting a boundary, but I felt guilty about it. And in that guilt, I decided maybe I shouldn't set the boundary. Maybe I should just stay late every night. Maybe my kids don't need me to tuck them into bed. Stop it. Here's the thing about guilt. Guilt is a liar. It lives inside everybody's head, but it is lying to you. I want you to stop. And when guilt comes into play and starts, creeping in there, I want you to stop. And I want you to think about what you would tell a friend if they said the same thing to you. If a friend said to you, maybe I need to stay late at work. Maybe I shouldn't tuck my kids in at bed. Maybe I shouldn't, have dinner with them every night. What would you say back to them? You're crazy. You should be home. This is really important. They're super young. They want to see their mom. You need to get your ass home to tuck them into bed, and that's really important boundary. You need to set a boundary. You need to say you need to say no. You need to stop staying late every day. That's what a friend would say to you. But we don't say that, do we? No, we lie to ourselves. We are less than. Our clinic's not going to think us good enough. They're going to fire us. Maybe we're not going to get the promotion. Other people are going to do more work or work harder. Here's the thing, just stop. What I'm so proud of is that veterinarian set that boundary, and she decided she was going to go home. And unfortunately, here's what ended up happening, because most of her evenings were being writing records. She decided on the weekend she would take an extra time and write her records. So she just let them pile up. Nothing happened. No crisis happened. She set a boundary, and the majority of the nights she got to go home, tuck her kids into bed, say goodnight to them, have dinner with them, and that's super important. That's her boundary to have, and it's nobody's to judge it. And so this is what I want to say to you. When you are feeling burned out, find out what's important to you and set that boundary, because it's likely very reasonable and very important boundary. Boundaries are life-saving. The boundaries are the thing that keeps us sane, and we need to respect other people's boundaries. And when that guilt starts to creep inside your head, like, I can't get called in for another shift. I need to say no. Oh, but if I say no, they're going to think I'm a terrible person. They're not going to think I'm part of the team. Amy's picked up 10 other shifts, and well, I don't have the bandwidth to pick up 10 shifts. Stop. That's the guilt. That little stinking guilt is lying to you. You know it is. You are a hard worker. You've put in your time. You've picked up other shifts. You've done all that you can do, and what you can do is different than what someone else's can do. Nothing says that someone's better than or less than, so knock that shit off. That guilt, it's the thing that lies to you. So remember that. Set your boundaries. This is really important. This is the new normal. We are going to stay busy. We have to start setting our boundaries and being able to do the best we can with the resources that we have available, and that means us. And so take care of yourselves, and don't let that stinking little guilty liar, that liar's a bastard. That guilt is a bastard, and it's a liar, and it's terrible, and it's not okay. So when it creeps inside, say, stop, guilt. Just stop it. Say what you would say to your very best friend, and then say it to yourself. Thank you so much for listening, and keep on being a unicorn.